welcome to PSGL F8. It is Sunday night. This is slightly odd for me streaming, but it's Brazil, the final round. Not the most amount of drivers, but let's get into this. Tonight I am with Jake, who should be normally streaming, but tonight I'm streaming. Hello, Jake.
Yeah, hello. Yeah, still got a few controller issues, so I thought better to play it safe. And yeah, we're here. It's not the most full grid that you'll ever see, but I don't know. Sometimes you can have less drivers on the grid and actually get better races. So hopefully this is one of those cases.
Certainly, I can agree with that fact. And the only poor thing is, though, for the drivers, there's only going to be that one driver who doesn't score a point.
And Super Guy has obviously decided that he wants a free choice of tyres at the start of the race. So he's already retired from the session. Obviously, crowned champion last week, and he's obviously decided it's the final round. Let's have a bit of fun now. The championship's taken care of.
Certainly, we've got one of the Williams heading out onto track. That is 3 gloves. Current was P2, if I'm right. Hold on, I've not got standing up, so I cannot see right now. Yes, 3 gloves is P2, but 40 points between Super Guy now and 3 gloves. That is...
Yeah, and looking at it, it's probably between 3 gloves and Ayub Khan for second in the championship. So it's going to be an interesting one. That's probably the main battle to be decided. Of course, the constructors already wrapped up as well. Ferrari have wrapped that up with Cam openly admitting he's been carried somewhat by his Ferrari teammate.
Oh, very much, Leah. I would say little bit carrying is a weak word. Strongly carrying. And I mean, the 2 Red Bulls haven't had the overall best of seasons, being sat in P8 in the championship. 44 points, of course, losing one of their drivers early on to go to Xbox, and one of their drivers, well, Matt.
Yeah, sadly, it's Matt's has got the pace at times, but the consistency's still lacking. But he is in the top 10 in the championship, so that's something for him. And he has got 1 podium to his name this season, which he got back in Canada. It was a 3rd place finish. Maybe with the lower turnout tonight, this is an opportunity for him to get on the podium again. We shall see, of course. We've got 3 gloves. I believe as the first driver to start a lap, unless I am...
It is. The
being
Williams
an idiot.
driver.
No, I'm not.
The Williams is certainly looking very good tonight, coming through the fast right-hander before coming into the middle sector, which is very complicated, twisting, turning. I wouldn't say it's designed for modern F1 cars. It's wide enough, but just the overall way the camber of the circuit is.
No, but it does mean if you get a bit of rain, which isn't exactly uncommon in these part of the world, it can mean that the conditions can get very tricky, because obviously the rain will almost flow down the hill of some of the cambers of these corners, and that makes it very slippery indeed. The pole time in F10 was a 1:06.8, 3 gloves across the line to do a 1:07.1, which is already pretty competitive, I would say.
Certainly. What can Cam do? Because mediums, of course, slower. Cam's coming straight into the pit lane. Oh no! Oh no! Bad news for Super Guy NL.
Yeah, I wonder if his teammate's going to decide then he wants to be starting on fresh rubber. Phase Max, a very nice lap, 1:06.7.
Already beating the F10 pole.
Which sounds like you'd expect it almost, but often sometimes lower tiers do get faster pole times. So it can be a bit of a mixed bag, that one, as Max goes 4th.
It really isn't a mixed bag, because F11 last week was not last week. On Thursday was certainly odd with their quali times. They were quite quick, a 6.7 for F11. Surely F10 should be quicker than 11, but it wasn't.
I've just looked in the chat to Super Guy NL.
Yeah, that's what I was going on about.
Yeah, not good as Game Freak goes second. So yeah, Super Guy NL, all happy getting his outlap done and whatever, or just retiring from the session, shall I say, but completely forgetting to save his setup. So this could be a bit of a fun race. He'll be very happy he's got a championship wrapped up already, because it might be a good thing, because you may struggle to get a good result now thanks to that error.
I mean, his tyres are going to be screaming to cool down. Considering this game is very much OP to have low tyre pressures. Oh dear. Yeah, he's going to struggle mid-race.
Oh, and Konski, I'd just gone off
That's
board
actually a
of him.
crash. That's a crash.
Yeah, I was going to say, he was on a lap, so he's gone off. That's through the opening 2 corners, so that's round the centre S. So, a bit of an odd place there. He must have maybe lost it on the curve going through turn 2, if I had to guess, but don't know for sure, as Ralkio goes up to second.
That is very close, only 300 between them. But yeah, it's very easy on the exit of turn 2. If you get on that curb just the slightest bit too much, it will just spin you, which is odd because you've got to be so precise, because if you don't get it right, like you say, you spin. But let's have a look who's next on our lap. Prenz is going to be invalidated. So we'll go on board with New Zealand Cam, who we were saying earlier was very much carried by his teammate Super Guy who's managed to forget the setup.
Yeah, these are your drivers and constructors champions, everybody. As Cam invalidates, just to further back up that point. Don't know quite how they've done it, but there we go.
A Ferrari trying to be realistic to the 2020 car this weekend.
Yeah, as long as one of them doesn't crash and have a whole gearbox dilemma, then we should be all right.
I've just realised something.
Go on.
It's Brazil. The 2 Ferraris are currently together.
Oh dear.
Right, Super Guy Cam, stay as far away from each other as you can. We do not want a repeat of what happened in real life.
No, absolutely not. Don't mess things up, guys. I'm watching Powdy now because I think has Cam gone for another? Has Cam?
Completed it. He completed it.
Yeah, he did invalidate though, and I wonder if he's going for another lap.
I mean, Sector 1 seems very slow. 17.2, usually in the 16s. No ERS, that's my thing I'm going to point out.
Yeah, don't know why I didn't just pit then, if that's the case, but there we go. A bit of an odd one. But Powdy is then the next driver on the lap.
Oh, comes out!
Wow, I keep going off board with drivers just before they crash.
I actually caught that as well. He lost it going up the top of the hill, and then as he's counter-steered it to try and catch it, and it's just gone straight into the wall.
What a bizarre qualifying. We've had Super Guy and L retire and forget to save his setup. We've had Konski and Cam crash, so we're down to 8 drivers in qualifying, which is a little bit strange, got to be honest. You got the 2 Ferraris starting at the back, and Super Guy and L now. He won't even get the freedom of tyre choice, I don't believe.
He will still, because he did not set any time at all. But Cam is laughing in the chat. Right, Cam. Now you 2 are together at the back. Stay away from Super Guy and L. If you come near him, well, it might create entertainment for us, but I'm certainly think you won't be happy. But I am Khan.
Great lap for 106.4. We've seen this in recent weeks. He's been super quick, certainly in qualifying, and he's done it once again. And that's going to take some beating, I reckon. That's a big margin to have around here.
6,600 though. Phase Max goes quicker.
And once again, I jinx it. So, right. Sorry about that, Con.
I think, in some cases, drivers might want you to when it comes to jinxing them. Talk about other stuff rather than their lap time.
Yeah, I'll have to go the opposite way. Game Freak is on a lap at the moment. He's on a personal best in Sector 1, so not too bad, a 10th up. But I'd say this middle part of the lap is really where you gain and lose the most time.
It really is, because you've got to get the lines perfect. If you don't match the car up right, you could get a little bit of wheel spin because you're not in the right gear, for example, or because how the setup is, the camber might be slightly off. But looking very neat so far. A bit of a lock-up. That could cost a little bit of time because, of course, locking the wheel, you're going to be stopping the rotation. But 10th up still, using the AstroTurf to turn the car, get a bit wider on exit. But now, coming around the final corner where Max Verstappen famously had his little spin. What can it be?
It's an improvement, but not in position.
No, it's so close, but You got TRT Ralkio, who's currently, I think, trying to burn fuel. And Prens, who's bolted the intermediate.
I was just about to say, you're alright, Prens.
Mate, I think there's a few spots in the air. I think they're going for the Ferrari strategy.
Those are some eerie-looking white clouds you see above in the sky.
Go on, Prens, go out on them tyres. I dare you. No, I'm joking. I don't. I do not condone things like that. This is a professional league, and Matt is on an outlap. Will he complete the duo, and will we have a Red Bull and a Ferrari crash out in qualifying?
Oh, Ralkio! Oh my goodness me, he's fully gone round. He had about 10 attempts at correcting that. But the important thing is he hasn't got into the wall, because that would have been a shame to lose another driver. But he was always fighting a losing battle with the rear end of that car out of turn 2.
Bit like me with any setup that's not mine, because setups usually I find that I like the car to understeer into a corner, I actually have to work for the front end to bite. But if a car's got a taily rear end, then I will not drive it with that setup.
That's quite a bizarre. I'm sorry, I'm bored with Matt's there. It was a very bizarre line that he was using to start his lap. Obviously, most people stay to the left to maximise speed. Matt's was as far over to the right as you can possibly get.
Though you may think you're gaining time from that, you don't actually, because you're scrubbing off speed because you're having to turn more. So I say that'll cost him. And also another thing is, you notice how he starts his ERS very late down the straight. You're costing yourself top line speed there, which could be gained.
Yeah, he was hearing about some lap times people were doing in practice, and he wasn't believing that some of the guys were capable of those times, which suggests he isn't finding a similar sort of pace. People talk about doing 106.2s, 106.3s in practice. To be fair, we're pretty close to that already, so they definitely weren't bluffing. What's Matt's up to through the middle part of the lap? He's not even on a personal best at the moment, so suggesting he's just struggling for pace right now. This hasn't been a particularly clean lap, I have to say, though, so there's time on the table, and I wonder if he's going to come straight in the pits. No, he doesn't. He's going to complete the lap. Does it do anything for him? No.
32.
Stays in 6th.
Yep. Ayuk Khan is on a lap. I always want to say Ayuk Khan, like, Ayuk Khan? But no, right. I don't want to sound odd here, but this current situation, the Red Bulls, is giving me huge Alexander Albon, Pierre Gasly vibes.
Yeah, I just be tagged. Sweet camp.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Go on board with Prens.
Oh no, he's out there on Inters, isn't he?
Yep, he's out on Inters.
Okay.
The fact that Mercedes actually looks settled as well.
Having a bit of fun on the track, I suppose the last race of the season wants to go out to get some airtime by going on the wrong tyres.
I mean, Lewis Hamilton be like when he realises the competition's that quick. Hold on, no, Lewis Hamilton in Mexico? In Monaco be like in qualifying. Must have been on Inters.
I've got to be honest, Prenz's car's looking more stable than some of the cars we've seen on dry tyres. So
yeah.
This is, he's got more chance of completing a lap than most people. Whoa, as I say that, he goes way off the track and invalidates his next lap, which is just wonderful. And what's Powdy up to? He's on a lap at the moment. I don't think Khan's on an... Is Khan on a better lap? Just having a look now. Khan is actually marginally up, but he's... Oh, this is going to be super close. It's already very close between him and Max. He's marginally quicker. Is he going to find any time up to the line to take pole position off Max? Yes, he does. A 106.3. Found some time in that last sector. Surprising, because obviously there's only really one corner in that final section, so there isn't that many places you can gain time there, but he found enough just to edge him back ahead of Max.
Certainly. I mean, it's very close between the two drivers, but it's going to be all down to Max now, because I think that'll be Ayub Khan's final opportunity to get a lap in, and we'll just have to wait for what Max can respond with. Cam, that was a nice meal. Oh, I mean qualifying. Oh my god.
Well, the only person on a lap at the moment that isn't is Prenz. So here we go. What's he going to manage on the intermediates? I think he's going to stay 8th, sadly, but it's a 1:18.6. And to be fair, I've seen worse laps around this track.
Super guy now, Pren's going to smoke everyone on them inters.
This is quite something, I have to say.
Ute FA admin, ladies and gentlemen. Cam, come back to the chat when you can do English. Because I know you're going to get... I'm not going to say the word live on stream, but it starts with P and Y ending.
Ah.
I mean
it's obviously prey.
What's Cam going to say? What's Cam going to reply with? I'm converted to Swedish. Cam, yeah, go on. Speak to me when you have not converted to Swedish. Cheers.
A low Gatati, not that again. Prenz, he's going for another lap, but he's a second down, so maybe his intermediate is just surprisingly starting to overheat a bit.
Gotta love a low Gatati.
You have. It's going to be the new name. We've got Freagle's about to start lap. This is quite an interesting lap, actually, because he kind of needs to improve a little bit, because right now, with his nearest challenger for second place in the championship being on provisional pole, Freagle's is in danger of losing that second spot in the championship, potentially. So, and that'd be quite a turnaround for Khan, who only really started to find his form, I'd say, in the last 3-4 races.
Certainly, I mean, Face Max has just started a lap time now. I am on board with Race Point Driver. Just like to point out, that helmet is banging. It's bussing.
Let's see if his lap is as equally impressive. If it is, then he could be about to take provisional pole again. His first sector is pretty similar, to be honest. It's a little bit down, but nothing he can't recover in these next two sectors. Free Gloves, on the other hand, is a 10th of a second up at the start of his laps. I'm just keeping an eye on both those laps. I mean, Max doesn't need to find much time to go into provisional pole, but he had a massive moment there through Pinorino, and I think he's backed out of it.
Why does it feel like you're ahead of me in the, like, everything's happening? Hold on, New Zealand Cam. You're a Korma, I'm a Vindaloo.
Free Gloves up to the line. Currently P6. I think he's going to improve, actually, so we'll see what this does for him.
P5.
Yeah, up to 5th, just behind Game Freak, marginally. Mats is also, was on a lap, but he's a 10th of a second down, and he's backed out of it, and he's coming in the pits, and he won't be doing any more laps in qualifying. So, 7th is what it will be for Mats, because Prenz is in the pits, and even if he wasn't in the pits, there's no way he's doing a 107 on Inters.
I mean, who knows? He could. Just forget there's a couple of corners on the track, and because, if you think about it, the Inters would be very good on the grass. They'd be very good.
We've got a number of drivers on laps, and Powdy's lost it just in front of his teammate. That would be a bit of a scare for Game Freaker going past there. We've got some drivers on lap side. Khan won't improve, he's invalidated. Ralkio's coming up to the line. Was third, he's going to need to find a lot of time to improve on that. He stays third, does improve by a few tenths, but it's not enough to move him up. Game Freaker improves as well, but stays fourth. Free Gloves has backed out of his lap. And Max took pole. Max did a second lap on those soft tyres and managed to grab pole position, a 106.3. That, fair play, that's a great effort.
You usually don't see drivers do that, doing second laps on the tyres, but obviously Max is happy to. But the only issue is, at the start of the race, Max is going to struggle.
Yeah, the soft tyres round here estimates like last 16 laps, but of course you've done a few qualifying laps on him. That's going to dramatically reduce that. So, yeah, it's going to be a tough run for him, but he wanted a glory pole position and he's gone and grabbed it.
Certainly, but that, like you say, FaZe Max is on pole position. Ayup Khan is in P2. Rauko in P3. Game Freak of P4. Three Gloves P5. Powdy P6. Mats P7. Prenz P8. Konski P9. And then, well, so D and F didn't even finish. Super Guy NL, Mr. I forgot my setup in P10. And Mr. New Zealand Cam, aka you're a Koma, I'm a Vindaloo.
What a unusual qualifying. I think that's the best way of putting it. But Prenz is talking about tactics, starting ahead of retired cars, but on medium tyres. I've got to say, it's not often that someone would go out in a dry qualifying session on intermediates and qualify at 8th.
No, it's not. I mean, I just noticed something. Cam added us in a tweet saying, "Collie going great." Cam.
Ferrari just losing their minds, but they have got a championship in the bag. I know it's hard to believe it based on everything we've seen in the last 20 minutes, but they have got. Maybe they'll show us in the race why they're constructors champions. Who knows?
Get this. So Super Guy now. What's it called? Cam, there you go, that's his name, before this round was being led by Arriva Bene. This round, all of a sudden, it's like Mattia Binotto's taken back over.
Yeah, sadly, that's not what you want. It really isn't what you want. Cam...
I was going to say something, but no, actually. Cam might not like... Actually, he is a fan of him, but... Cam's the new Sebastian Vettel.
Yeah, I'm just looking at Cam's results this season. They've been so weird. 2 podiums and then 3 DNFs, a race ban, and then a couple of low point scoring finishes. What an odd season. I do want to say, before we get started tonight, quickly, if I just, there we go. I just want to say massive condolences to the friends and family of the Moto3 rider, Jason De Pasquier, who tragically died following a crash on Saturday. Really horrible, only 19 years of age, and hopefully we put on a good show tonight in tribute to him.
Certainly, and hopefully get a Ferrari on the podium in our dreams.
Yeah, I think we should have a good race here with Super Guy NL starting 10th with a standard setup on his car. It should be quite interesting. Then you got Max at the front on what will be very worn softs after he did 2 qualifying laps on them.
And
this is a fun to call.
Yeah. If you think about it, his I just got a bit of a lag. Yeah.
Yeah, I got that as well. I saw Khan going way off the track and then all of a sudden going back onto it.
I hope Khan's tyres will only be 3 lap old. No, about 2 lap old. FaZe Max's are going to be 4 lap old.
And
look at the Ferraris! Sorry.
I was about to say, those extra laps might potentially push Max into having to do a 2-stopper, whereas other drivers could get away with a 1-stopper, and you ideally around here do want to do a 1-stopper if there's no safety cars.
Look at the 2 Ferraris, by the way, in formation. They were in formation then.
Beautiful. They're just bringing it over making sure everyone else's tyres are nice and cold as they line up at the back of the grid. We've got 11 cars, but it should be a lot of excitement, and I think a few drivers out here that will be looking to score some great results on the final race of the season.
But here we go. I'll wait for this to actually give me a good camera angle. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights all illuminated now. We're getting ready to go, and it's lights out, and away we go for the Brazilian Grand Prix round 10 here in PSGL. It's a very good start for FaZe Max. Look at this. I have gone up the inside, and look at this. Car's going to go up the inside into turn 1. Look at it further back. Got the 2 Williams going at it. Then we've got Cam at the back going side by side. The 2 Ferraris are very close together. They're going side by side round turn 2. But then look at this. Konski right there. Is that Konski? Yes, it is in front of them, and we've got Prenz also ahead of the battle. But look at this, is Super Guy now going to send it? No, that is Cam. Don't know why I said Khan, but anyway.
Yeah, Cam's had an absolute blinding start, and then you've got also Ralkiov's lost 2 places off the start. He's down to 5th, although he's trying to come back at his teammate, but can't quite manage it as we go through the middle sector. He's got to be careful as well. Powdy having a little bit of a look, but a great start from Khan, getting the race lead, and he'll fancy, with Max behind him, he can pull away.
Certainly, look at this. Cam just went up to the move and Matt. But of course, medium tyres not being as grippy at that point. Oh, Cam driving off track there even. But it's very good start for the Ferrari driver, losing a bit of traction there on exit at the corner. But, well, Ayub Khan, what a way to start this race. Like you say, be able to pull away. Max is right behind. But who knows what can happen in these next laps. Max's tyres will die off a lot quicker than... Where is he? Ayub Khan, there we go. If this game would actually like to bring some useful data and not show us where cars are not.
That would be quite nice. A few cars ghosting, which I think is just messing up the timing, which is not ideal. But yeah, the top 7 kind of not really pulling away. You got Cam on the mediums having a pretty solid start in 8th, and then yeah, back at the front. It was all a very clean start, which is what we want. When you've got a low turnout, the best thing you want is that nobody has any issues at the start, because you want as many cars fighting as possible. I'd say right now the main thing I can see unfolding over the next few laps is maybe Ralkio going past his teammate, because he looks very close to the back of him.
Two Williams battling historically, something that we used to see back in the 90s. Williams leading the pack, but shame to say today they are mid-pack, but they are going to be battling hopefully soon. Of course, this is not DRS yet. This is the game showing that it's supposedly there. Calm with fastest lap of the race, but you know how you say,
Cam
oh,
and
Cam.
Mats. Yeah, Mats and Cam battling up to the ZRS, and it looks like Cam's going to have that place, but Mats going back in him round the second part of the ZRS, now through the curve of the Sol onto the Reto Poster, and Cam looks like he's made the move. They've both got DRS open, which will help Cam defend against Mats up to turn 4. And yeah, Cam's got that place, and he's really on the move at the start of this race. He might have had a disastrous qualifying, but he's on it in the race. That whatever he ate must have given him some super fuel.
No, he's had a Vindaloo, and his stomach is crying for help. So I think he's like, the quicker I go, the quicker this is over, and the quicker I can get to the toilet.
That's it. If he can race to a checkered flag, that's all the better for him. And he's already right on the back of Powdy. So he really is on the march at this early stage. Those medium tyres doing good for him. And Matt's already starting to drop back. Meanwhile, the top 3 sort of spreading out, although Max is keeping fairly close company with Ayub Khan, which I think he'll be pleasantly surprised by. In fact, he's just done the fastest lap, so might be slightly older softs on that racing point, but he doesn't seem to be holding him back.
Certainly, I will just comment on Super Guy NL, poor lad, struggling out there on no setup.
Oh, Cam has made the move on Powdy, up to 6 now.
Yeah, but Cam's on 0% ERS.
Ah, yes, I see. Yeah, Powdy's got 80% in comparison. So, one thing that is helping Cam charge through the field is he's using up PRS. But hey, you know, he wants to give us commentators some excitement, and you got to respect him for that.
You know, you can give us some extra good excitement if you go back and battle with your teammate. Hey,
poor Super Guy NL, but you know he's paying the price for his disastrous error of not loading a setup on.
I mean, it's not a disastrous error because it gives us a bit of relief because somebody else can actually win.
Yeah, Super Guy NL's a 40-point lead in the championship, just shows how dominant it's been. But we might be having 2 teammates battling here. The Williams might be going at it. Ralkio down the inside up to the ZRS, and it should be good, fair racing. Ralkio down the inside. Free Gloves trying to come back at him through turn 2, but there's no way through. And Ralkio will keep in position for now, but Free Gloves might fancy his chances down the Reto Aposta up to turn 4. Can he make the move? No, Ralkio makes it stick. So lost 2 places off the start, Ralkio, but starting to make good ground already. As Super Guy NL, despite having no setup on, has just got past Powdy.
I think Powdy's had an issue and possibly spun because Powdy was up behind Cam, but now he's not. But look at this, Super Guy now. You can see struggling going into the corner, locking up. The car's understeering like mad. I mean, to be honest, I would like it understeering, but obviously some people don't like that.
It'd be cool if one week we did a special event of PSGL where everyone had to run standard setups.
I mean, I won't complain.
It would be interesting to see who'd come out on top, but Super Guy NL definitely wishing he had a setup on right now. As Cam's already up to the back of a racing point, obviously with no ERS to spare, but nevertheless, he's got good pace at this early stint of the race. I say that as he has a massive moment for his ZRS, so sorry, Cam.
I mean, one thing I'm just going to say is did you just call a white car, the white Williams, a racing point? I'm pretty sure racing point are pink.
Then I apologise.
I was going to say, I didn't think the racing point. I didn't think the racing point was white. I always swore it was pink.
Well, you know, they've gone for a slight colour change today. One other thing to mention as well. We're already on lap 6. Konski's already got 6 seconds worth of penalties. If he's not careful, he may rack up quite a lot by the end of a race.
I mean, are you alright, team at Marduk? Oh,
Konski! He's got bigger problems than his penalties. He's into the wall. Thankfully, rear end first, which obviously means the risk damage model on this game, it's not too much of a problem, but he's having issues just getting the car back under control, and he never looked comfortable through that section of the track there, and he's lost the back end. He's got no damage. Like I said, going in rear end first into the wall is a good thing on this game because it doesn't seem to. You don't get rear damage on this damage model.
Konski is into the pit lane. Is going to crash into the pit lane and then, can I guess, retire? Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say that looks very much like
look
at Super Guy L. He might have no setup, but he doesn't want to give up that fight. He has got a penalty as well, but they're going side by side still. Up to turn 6 and 7. This is going to be brave stuff. And Super Guy L keeps hold of a position. That's fair play.
That was some brilliant driving, I will say. Absolutely amazing. Let's try and see if there's something else going on. Prenz is on the back of Mats now, struggling on softs. Please do not create another repeat and have a double Red Bull DNF. Oh, Prenz though. Bit of a snap on the exit of the corner there.
Yeah, I've seen a few drivers just struggling to contain the rear of a car as Max is going for it for the race lead. He goes past Khan down the pit straight and gets him before they even get to the centre S. And Max back into the lead, and this is probably the stage of the race where you feel like those extra laps done in qualifying would hurt Max, but if anything, he looks quicker than before.
Maybe. I hope Khan has pushed too much off the start that his tyres are in a worse condition than Max, and maybe Max has just been that much safer with the tyres, saving them. Or I just saw a car get up on that curb and I just almost got flashbacks.
One thing to note, I'm just having a look for the ERS levels of all the top 6, is that the top 2 have got significantly more saved than the 4 cars behind them.
Powdy's gone off track and taken out one of the boards.
He's got no damage at least, but what did that poor board do to him? But that means Super Guidel's got some breathing space at the moment. But I've got to say, one driver who I feel will be quite disappointed with how his race is going at the moment is Mats, because he's so far off the leading group already on lap 8.
Oh, Cam!
Cam, massive moment, massive tank slapper out of Jung Sao, and he did well to gather it back up again. But it just shows how much he's pushing to keep up, as Max is threatening to pull out of Ayub Khan's DRS, which is really impressive stuff.
So we have got a Mercedes. We may have one Mercedes in PA, but at least we've got the old Mercedes, a pink Mercedes in the lead.
And a white Mercedes, if you listen to my interpretation of what team is where. There's just 2 Williams cars. I had to make sure I got that right. Still very close together.
Imagine one day just turning up to the track and every car is a replica of the Mercedes.
It might be every car's a replica of the Red Bull and where this is going, but nevertheless, we've got the top 6 still very close together. Still Prenz on the back of Mats. I'm surprised he hasn't managed to pass him yet. You'd think as well on those mediums he'd be happier right now. But if you ever wondered how much difference a setup makes, just look at a Super Guy at L. You know, it's comfortably our champion. He's already so far off the lead on lap 9. It just shows how crucial a setup is to these guys.
Certainly. Let's just, like I say, going on to lead. 13 seconds already, 10 laps in. That's, well, in a way, pain.
Absolutely, and even if he's not the biggest fan of Brazil, he would not be that far behind with a setup on.
Certainly, I just saw something a bit scary. I got a notification about what all Prens and Mats.
Yeah, I was just on board with Free Gloves, and he had a massive moment himself through turns 4 and 5, so looks like all the drivers just struggling with rear grip at the moment. Obviously, we're getting to the pit stop phase for these soft tyre runners, and it's still very much all to play for. Anyone in the top 6 right now will feel like they've got a good chance to win this race. In particular, Cam, on those medium tyres, is keeping good speed compared to the guys in front.
Certainly, I mean, if you can get past 3 Gloves and get past Rolco, look at that. That is already net P3. For maths. Remember, Brent, maths. Here we go. Cam's going to use DRS. Going to use all the ERS he's got left, which is now nothing, and he's still too far back. Okay, I overhyped it.
Oh, we got yellow flag in sector 3.
That's
Super guy now. And he's definitely more than 13 seconds behind now because he's had a spin. Looks like on the exit of young Cow, maybe just lost the car on traction, and yeah, he's not having a fun time of it. And well, you know what? There's no better time to do it than now. I'm sure. Prens goes past Mats. Yep, into turn 4, so he's got that move done. Probably a few laps later than I would have expected.
Certainly, but look at this. Mats is coming back at him. Oh, is Mats going to try coming back at Prens up the hill now? No, too far back. But you saw then the Red Bull driver trying to put it alongside the Mercedes. Not a place that you really ideally want to do that, but let's go back to the train which Cam is currently stuck at the back of. Oh, 3 Gloves, another little moment.
Yeah, he's not enjoying those tyres at the moment, I would say. He's also got a penalty, which is quite rare for 3 Gloves. Consistency has usually been key for him, so it's rare that he's one of the first to pick up a penalty. Still nobody in this train going for the undercut yet. I reckon now you could probably pit for hards, maybe mediums if you're brave, and go to the end. But none of these guys gambling just yet.
If you're going to go to medium tyres, I'd definitely say you want to go to lap 14, I'd say. 14 to 16 before you do that.
Yeah, and the hard tyres, to be fair, are not that much slower than the mediums here, so you can make them work. We saw, obviously, in that dramatic PC finale, we saw, I want to say, was it Yada Watme who went on hards? I know one of them did. I can't. My mind's turned to mush, but yeah, one of them made the hard tyre strategy work super well. So it's definitely possible around here.
It is a possible strategy. It's just whether the drivers can execute it right.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? You got to get them warmed up when you pit. So the undercut may be not as powerful if you go for the hards. Will we see any drivers in the pits at the end of this lap? No, we will not. But Cam is once again close to 3 Gloves, but you mentioned this earlier, and it really is costing him. He's just...
Oh, he sent it! He sent it!
He's going for it on the centre S! 3 Gloves thankfully saw him coming, and Cam makes it stick around the outside of turn 2. I've got to say, you've got to have a lot of faith in the car in front when you go for dives like that, and thankfully we know 3 Gloves is a very good driver in wheel-to-wheel combat, and he thankfully saw him coming.
Yeah, very much. But anyway, coming now back up the hill, Cam's going to be catching after Ralco. Let's see the tyre difference in this middle sector. But let's have a look. He's gaining a bit of time, not a lot, but here we go. Back to second. Yeah, look at that. That's 2 tenths in only a couple of corners, that is.
Yeah, Cam really making... One driver who hasn't made the tyres work as well as I thought he would is Prens. Like, I thought once he got past Mats, he'd be off down the road, but Matt's still staying pretty close to the back of him, so... Maybe the reason Prens couldn't get past him is he's not that much quicker.
Yeah, maybe. That is a very... That's a very good statement, actually, because it's true. Mats is still keeping with him. Prens is signalling a bit of pit stop, but Mats is staying out as well. But it's just... interesting. Maybe that's why, like you say, Prens well struggling. Prens locking up into turn 1 even. Maybe the medium tyres just aren't doing it for him.
No, absolutely not. I'm just having a look at their fastest lap. Yeah, that's the thing. You look at the fastest laps, all the top 6 guys in the mid 109s mostly. Prenz's best lap's only a 10.3. So, just outright pace maybe just not there at the moment. you've seen Cam make the medium tyres work pretty well, but it's not really transferring to Prenz's Mercedes right now.
Really isn't, but look at this, he's on the back of the top 4 now. Cam is really starting to push this limit, but of course the ERS is just nothing compared to the rest. The second lowest driver is Game Freaker, but apart from that, the rest of them have got quite a lot of ERS.
Yeah, Khan especially. Is Max going to pit this lap? I'm really surprised. Game Freaker pits. We've got a first of the leading group to pit, and it's Game Freaker. So Max, despite doing all that, taking that much out of tyres in qualifying, still out there and still doing decent enough pace. But Game Freaker going for the undercut, and I'd be interested to see how it pays off for him. He may come out around where his teammate is, just in front of him perhaps. But even if he's behind him, I can't imagine Powdy's going to really affect his race too much.
No, because Powdy will most likely just let him by, but luckily coming out just ahead of his teammate. That is a good strategy call by Game Freaker, because the undercut is going to be, I'd say, powerful round here. Short pit lane, and, well, old tyres around the short track. You can gain quite a bit of time.
Absolutely. The pit margin round here is 18.5 seconds of pit lane lost time. So it'd be interesting to just keep an eye on that gap to the race leader and see how that develops over the rest of this lap. But I suspect we'll see at least one of the leading group responding on this lap.
So I think FaZe Max should pull the plug now. If he doesn't, well, I'm going to say you're silly. Here we go, pulls plug, so does Ayup Khan, so does Relco. And there you go, Cam is now race lead.
Yeah, and Cam now can put a foot down. Everyone in the pits then. Oh no, Free Gloves is going to get held up in the pits. Free Gloves is going to get held up in the pits because he's right behind his teammate. Oh, disaster at Williams. What's gone on there?
And Cam, 3-second time penalty.
Oh, massive drama. That's not going to help Free Gloves at all. And he's lost so much time. And Game Freaker is going to come out in front of Max and be the provisional race leader. So Game Freaker triggered that undercut and it has worked beautifully. He's now technically in the race lead.
That is great driving by Game Freaker to, like I say, take the provisional lead. Super Guy now getting past Three Gloves even. Three Gloves is stuck behind Matt and Super Guy now, so this is not fun at all for him. He is going to be... I wish this is where you could, like, hear the driver's raw emotion through the game. Like, the way that drivers could communicate in the voice chat to us. Say, like, like it's a team radio, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, we'd probably have to make it age-restricted content though, if that was the case.
Actually, yeah, that's a fair point. You'd have to put, like, a automatic bleeper on. So, like, it's a few seconds delayed because we have to edit a little bleeper over it.
Well, this just shows how much time Free Gloves lost by having to step behind his teammate. He's now behind Matt, who was comfortably behind that group of cars prior to the pit stop. So that's really worked out against Free Gloves, and that really does put his second place in the championship at risk as Max goes down the inside of Game Freaker and retakes that lead. So Max not wasting any time at all, wants to get that lead back. And Game Freaker, in fairness, didn't put up too much of a fight.
No, and I can understand why. It's the final round, you don't want to risk anything, you just want to get points on the board and, well, have fun. But look at this, Ayup Khan now is right on the back of Game Freaker, coming through the middle sector. Beautiful double shift there from the McLaren, the little dum-dum.
Oh, Free Gloves diving down the inside of Super Guy and L. That's an unusual part of the track to see overtakes. That was through La Aranya. Up now to turn 8, I believe, and yeah, Free Gloves makes the move stick, but that was a very unusual part of the track to pull it off. But he wants to try and make up for lost time. I don't know what emotions will be going through that Williams cockpit now as Khan goes past Game Freaker down the pit straight now as well and sets the fastest lap to boot. And Game Freaker, although he got the undercut on the pair of them, is now back where he was.
Yep, Game Freaker, it worked initially, but in the end, not so much. Let's have a look at gap to leader. Currently, Cam will come home in P6. He is net P6 right now. No, not net P6. Net. Oh my god, I've lost my head. Net P4? Net P. No, yeah, net P4. No, net P5.
Yeah,
Wait, hold on.
I think he's gonna probably. I think at the moment he's gonna slot in just behind Valkyr, which would be P5. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, my maths is absolutely brilliant tonight, as you can tell.
Hey, don't worry about it. We've it's one of my strongest qualities, so I can try and compensate for you on that one. But yeah, there's a huge gap for him to slot into, which he's gonna most likely slot into. He'll probably lose a few more seconds before he pits. But he can then go on to soft tyres, and he'll be a huge threat come the end of this race. The one thing he'll be kicking himself for, though, is that penalty that he's got.
Yeah, because of course that's going to cost him a lot in the end.
And of course, with that mistake from Super Guy and L, you know, Cam's kind of been carried all season. Well, there's no kind of about it. He has been carried all season by his teammates. So this is really Cam's opportunity to kind of show everyone, you know, I can carry Ferrari too for one night when it's needed.
Except when Cam doesn't bottle. Because I don't ask me why. I've got a strange feeling Cam's gonna bottle at some point. Because that's just Cam.
I'm not gonna say anything either way because you know what I'm like.
Say it. We need some action. We need some proper hardcore spinning action.
Well, we could have a battle about to unfold here because Free Gloves is looking like he really wants to get past Matt.
I mean, Three Gloves there, a bit of a mini spinala. I really want to commentate over a Ferrari and say, Spinala.
It's almost like you're wishing bad things on Cam.
I never said I was wishing bad things on Cam, but on Ferrari. Maybe the leading Ferrari.
I was going to say, well, we've already had Super Guy and L do that for you.
Yeah, I'm saying more the leading Ferrari, not Cam. I've never actually said Cam, I meant the leading Ferrari. But here we go, Three Gloves on the back of Matt's. Let's go back and have a look. Here we go, very close.
What Three Gloves might have gone for it there, but Matt's covered the line off in the end. So for now, Matt stays in front, and we've seen Three Gloves pull off one overtake for his middle part of the lap, but more often than not, it's very much single file through his middle part of the lap.
Here we go, Cam's into pit lane.
It's quite an early stop if he's going for soft tyres, I have to say. But,
not really, if you think about it. Lap 20 is the right time. 15 laps on the softs.
Yeah. I personally would have maybe stayed out a lap or two longer, just to have those fresher softs, but we'll see how it unfolds for him. I mean, he's got a lovely bit of clear air that he's going to rejoin into. It's almost like it's formed perfectly for him in the fact that there's this huge gap that's formed between Valkyrie and Mats, which he's just going to slot perfectly into. So he's got some clear air, he can get the hammer down, and he's not all too far behind that train of cars. Of course, Pren's now in the lead, but of course he will have to stop again as well. And looking at it as Powdy goes past Super Guy. Now Three Gloves is finally going for it up to turn 4 on the outside of Mats. This is going to be a brave move. Give each other space. There's a bit of contact, but Three Gloves pulls it off around the outside. Mats determined not to lose the place. Is he going to try and hold it around turns 6 and 7 rather? He does, but surely Three Gloves eventually is going to have a move. Mats looking everywhere possible for a way back, but
better exit. Is Max going to send it? Mats is not.
I think Three Gloves sensed that he could have gone for it and tried to cover off the angle.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what's going to unfold down the next straight. There's Pren's, going down the pit lane.
And we've got less than a second covering the top 4.
Amazing. Here we go. Mats is coming back at Three Gloves. Here we go. It's all over again. Gonna go round the outside into turn 1. Three Gloves is there, but Mats is gonna be still there. Oh, almost in. Oh, that was so close to an Esteban Ocon and Max Verstappen moment. There we go. DRS again for Mats. ERS a little bit used. Is he going to send it on the brakes on Three Gloves? Oh, he's too far back.
Oh, Ralkio's diving down the inside of Game Freaker. Oh, that was a completely opportunistic move. He's not managed to pull it off, though, but Game Freaker would have been slightly alarmed there when he saw Williams dive down his inside, but he managed to cover it off. Still Three Gloves and Mats battling away, and worse news for them is they're being joined by Prenz, who will be a lot quicker, you'd imagine, on those softs.
Oh, no doubt about it, he will be.
Huge moment for Mats as well, but no way through for Prens as they now head towards the final part of the lap. The infamous is that Glock section of the track.
Is that Glock?
Imprinted in our minds thanks to 2008. It's a shim. Toyota and on the grid. Cam does the fastest lap, and he's eating into the gap in front of him, where of course the top four are. So Cam's going to be there, I reckon, the next lap or two, and he's going to try and get past all these guys. But the problem for Cam is he's not saving his ERS particularly well.
Cam never does. He's not the best at ERS management. He's just all out every second of the time.
Oh, Prens is going for it on Mats. I've got a shocking camera angle, but Prens has made the move stick and up to 7th. Poor Super Guy and L just dawdling at the back with his standard setup on, but he's going to score at least 1 point.
Yeah,
as long as he finishes the race.
That's the best thing about it. He will get that 1 point available to him due to Konski retiring.
Something else as well I've just noticed, quietly gone about his business here, as Valkyr threatens Khan's. About to say is that FaZe Max is pulling away, but to be fair, Khan's about to lose P2, and he does, into this NRS. He's lost P2, and he seems to be struggling a little bit. Has he got, I want to see, yeah, he's got some wing damage.
Yes, he has.
Khan's got wing damage on the right hand side. I wonder why his pace has suddenly dropped, and because he's got damage on the right hand side of a wing, and that's going to affect him hugely. So Valkyr up to 2nd, and you've got to imagine Game Freaker and Cam will follow suit very soon.
Sure, certainly they will, but look at this, right on the back of Game Freaker. Oh, he's going to go up the inside. Look at this is opportunistic. Oh.
That's a brave move, but well pulled off, I have to say.
Is Cam going to send other brakes here, though? Will he do it? Will he do it? Will he do it? No. Oh, he's too far back. Could have possibly sent it there, but... Oh, Khan's aggressively trying to defend. Cam pushing him through the corner, that is.
Yeah, with the wing damage out, Khan's got no grip at all. But this is stretching out the leading group, which only helps Max and Valkyr. Khan, is he going to pit? No, he doesn't. He's going to try and stick it out on that damage. I mean, he's pretty much got P5 in the bag, you'd argue. As Game Freaker looks back at Cam, but Cam's going right down the inside of Ayup Khan. It leaves him no chance to come back at him, and there was contact. Ayup Khan makes contact with Cam, loses a position to Game Freaker, but I was so close to spinning Cam out there.
It was close. You saw the Ferrari get a bit unnerved going through the corner.
Khan down to 5th. He'll be happy to know there's a big gap to Prens in 6th, who has got past 3 gloves. But, and that probably seals 3 gloves as 2nd place in the Drivers' Championship, that wing damage for Ayup Khan. So 3 gloves, 2nd in the championship. I don't think he'll be too disappointed with that.
No, it's a good position. You can never turn down, but anyway.
We've now got Max with a 1.5 second lead. That I wondered why Max was pulling away, and obviously it wasn't so much Max pulling away, obviously, as Khan with that damage. I wonder where he could have picked up damage on the right hand side of a front wing. I'm trying to think, really, where would you pick up that damage without spinning out?
It's an odd one. It's a real odd one.
Because obviously he didn't lose that much time by it when the actual incident occurred. So yeah, very unusual. But that has stretched out the top 3, or top 5 as it were. But you have now got Cam on the back of Valkyr, and he looks to get P2.
Certainly, going up the hill, catching to the back of that Williams. Williams is also low on ERS. FaZe Max is in the best situation right now when it does come to ERS out of the top 3. You can just see the grip Cam's got over Valkyr.
Yeah, Max will be feeling quite happy at the moment. He knows Cam's got a penalty, and he's eventually the superior grip of those softs will level out over the next sort of 5-6 laps, you'd imagine. But right now, Cam's got the pace, got the grip, and you got to think he's going to make this move here down the straight.
Certainly, there we go. Dearest now enabled. Move's going to be complete. Valkyr taking the wide line. But there you go, Cam up into P2 now.
Yeah, one of Cam's easier moves, he'd probably have a much easier time making the overtakes if he wasn't permanently in overtake every straight.
Yeah, that's his main problem, I would say, is he doesn't know, like you say, how to manage ERS. He just all out every lap.
No, absolutely, and if you can manage your ERS well, it makes overtaking a lot easier, and you can just sort of conserve when you don't need to overtake. But nevertheless, Cam up to second, and he'll try and chase down Max, who at the moment has got a nice lead. Game Freak has kind of dropped back from this leading group, as he hasn't got any damage or anything from what I can see.
No.
But Khan's not too far behind him, and Game Freak are just struggling a bit of pace. Of course, we know he pulled the trigger early with a pit stop, which looked at the time to be the right call, but he just hasn't looked like he's got the pace since going on to the mediums.
He really hasn't. Just going to note on to that currently Superguy is going to win the championship by 37 points.
Yeah, and believe it or not, that's less points than what it was. So, yeah, Superguy, even with the standard setup, has just got such a commanding championship lead. In terms of constructors, yeah, I'd say that Williams looked pretty safe in second. Free Gloves will be doing just about enough. Potentially, Max could help bring Racing Point a bit closer, but I think Williams... Well, so Williams second in the constructors, Free Gloves second in the Drivers' Championship, so decent result there for Williams as it stands, but yeah, obviously it's the top of the championship decided last week, and yeah, these guys are almost just racing for fun and for pride at this stage, but nevertheless they're putting on a decent show, and I think we've still got a bit to go, with Cam edging ever closer to the back of Max, with 18% ERS, which is probably the most he's had all race.
It actually is.
But you can guarantee as soon as we get onto this straight, there you go, overtake straight jammed open. So Max drained it all.
It's like he's got something wrong with it. It's like it drains so quickly. Oh wait, you're using overtake button every single straight. Mm.
But he's right on the back of Max, and I don't think Max will put up too much of a fight, to be honest, because with that penalty that Cam's got on, I don't think he'll be able to pull 3 seconds away. But we shall see. Again, he could have had a good opportunity to turn 4, but obviously with a lack of ERS management, it makes it a lot tougher. And Max, obviously, look at Max, he's got a decent amount to defend with, which he's utilised there.
He really has. I mean, oh wow, okay. Yeah. So when you're supposedly on board with Max, there we go. Because I wanted to look back on his rear wing at Cam to like see the lines that way. So that would be pretty cool, but no, the game thought, oh no, let's go on board with Cam.
The game knows best, apparently.
No, the game knows how to give us rubbish camera angles. There we go.
Yeah, this is surely going to be the move done, even with limited overtake available to him. Yeah, there you go. Cam's got the inside line into the centre S. And will have a move completed to take the lead on track, but it's worth keeping an eye out. Can he get the win when all is said and done at the end on penalties? Max was very close there to getting a warning. I have to say, the understeer he caught on the exit of the centre S, just being behind that Ferrari, nearly caused him to get a warning, and I don't know how close he is to a penalty himself.
I think Face Max is probably pretty close to getting a penalty the amount of times I've seen him go off track, but...
Ooh, actually, I stand corrected. Max did get a warning there. I thought he ran a bit wide, and that is his second warning, so he's quite close to a penalty himself, so he's got to be a bit careful of that. I'm just looking at Ralkio as well. I think Ralkio might be on 2 warnings as well. He's on at least 1, I know that.
But there you go, that's already a second between Cam and FaZe Max now. If Cam can keep this pace up and pull out a second each lap, that'll be him safe from his penalty.
Yeah, so we've got 6 laps to go then, and Cam trying to build that lead. He's probably just hoping as well that Max gets a penalty. And yeah, it's not too much on-track fighting at this stage. Maybe Free Gloves starting to come back at Prens, perhaps. But not too much on-track fighting, but the gaps are worth keeping an eye on just for the for the sake of penalties.
Certainly, I will just comment on. Watch out. Last lap, the Ferrari of Super Guy NL will slow down and will drive close to Cam or something like that. Or something like that will happen. I've got a feeling.